Welcome to the Struggle Bubble. I'm Chad Kutting.
And I'm Craig Sergi.
And today we are joined by a very special guest, my wife, but most importantly, CEO and founder of ToteSavvy, Lauren Kutting. We're very happy that you're here because it was like a little bit of a struggle to get her to actually join. I think this shows a little bit beneath where Lauren is or expects to be on media.
Not at all. But I do have a very busy schedule, as you know.
A very busy schedule. And I find out about it first thing in the morning, and found out about friend camp this morning for both girls.
What's friend camp? Hold on, go into that. What's friend camp?
Lauren?
Oh, friend camp is the best thing. It is where 5 families get together and they host the group of kids. So you basically are in charge of 1 day a week. You're hosting all of the kids at your house, and then they'll rotate through the other houses. So it's fantastic. The kids have the best time. You plan like little crafts or go to lunch, go to a movie. It's amazing.
Oh, so you lose your kids for 4 days and then take 5 for 1 day.
Exactly.
And then the cost savings are incredible. I mean, summer camps in the Bay Area are not an inexpensive thing. If I get one more email about a camp for Los Gatos United, I'm going to have to unsubscribe.
Dude, just add another 0. It's fine.
Where are you, Craig? For anybody that's not able to see the video and you're just listening, it looks like Craig is in the Bates Motel. Where are you?
Yeah, have you never been? I am in Newport, California. I have a meeting in Burbank later today, and there's a little bit of I'll give you the story. The girls had a dance intensive. I was about to say competition.
Wait, what's an intensive?
A dance intensive. Intensive is you can do 1 day or 3 days course, or not course, sessions with different dance teachers, choreographers and stuff at Project 21, which we'll link to. They are a dance studio in Yerba Linda. So the girls did, the intent is they start Friday, they started at 2:30 and finished at 9. Saturday was 7:30 a.m. till 2:30, and Sunday was 7:30 a.m. till 2:30.
So do you actually watch them during any of this, or they're just at a camp and you're doing business and being there for the girls,
exactly.
Being the chauffeur? So how many miles you putting on that car then?
A lot. It's nicely there was a Marriott Courtyard 5 minutes from the studio. So thank you, Marriott, for being so close. I won't go any further into, was it glorious? No. But that was perfect. So the actual drive, we had to drop lunch off 11 a.m. and they had 30 minutes to eat and then back on it. And then the dinner time was the same, drop off at 5, and they're back in the studio 5 days. So the intensive is like an hour and a half of jazz, an hour and a half of contemporary, an hour and a half of tap, hour and a half of ballroom, hour and a half of hip hop, hour and a half of, I don't think they did ballet in this one.
Yeah, but a good variety of what they're able to get into. Who I don't see in the room with you, or don't hear, is Britton. Is she joining you in that hotel?
She is with her cousin in another hotel in a different part of Los Angeles.
Oh, a different part. I love how you're skirting around the actual part of Los Angeles that she's. What part of Los Angeles is she in, Craig?
Such a dick. Beverly Hills.
I've heard of it. The old 90210.
Yeah, it's actually, they are in the hotel that was in, what's that movie? The
True Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills.
Yes, that's it.
Or Beverly Hills Ninja. I wasn't sure which direction you were going to go.
I go Beverly Hills Ninja. She goes the other way.
Well, it's interesting, Craig, because every time that we travel, there's a discussion on the type of hotel that we need to be in. And I guarantee we would have been in the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, they're having a good time. I'm like, it was kind of a cock up because I didn't know if we were meeting in Newport, where Britton's cousin lives, and they were driving together. Communication issues, surprise. So I drove from Yerba Linda to Beverly Hills to Newport. Now I've got to go to Burbank, do a meeting, and then I'm driving back down again to Beverly Hills to then head home.
Well, a nice busy Nice busy day, nice busy weekend for you. But kudos to you, Dance Dad, hashtag Dance Dad for the past couple of weeks. You've been Northern California, Southern California. I'm surprised you're not going to like,
Nevada,
Nev- well,
Nevada.
you are in Nevada. You're right. And why don't you just go to
Yeah,
New York, Craig? Like, touch
don't
them all.
start. Don't start. I will say this though, just on our listeners that are in the sports world as well. The thing I took, and even Britain got onto this as well, the craziness, right? The $7 plastic trophies that aren't important. Um, a lot of the people that were at Project 21 were like, we're done with competing for trophies. Like the girls, I was talking to a parent, um, she was there, she's got three daughters that dance. They live in Nevada, Vegas, and they go to Provo, Utah
Hmm.
for competitions and stuff. And the reality is, her oldest kid skipped college and is going to become a pro dancer on the Royal Caribbean or one of the cruise ships. And we're talking about the lifespan of a professional athlete, right?
Hmm.
You have a very small window. And anyway, she was saying that this is where you get the real training. Like when you're every girl that went into that studio, and there was probably 50 kids, give or take. It was all that next level, right? If when you're the best in the room, you need to go find another room, and that was like everybody at that studio was all in the same mentality. Like we were chatting about when you're that elite level, really, there's probably 10% between every single person. They're all at that level. So then it's how do you perform on the stage? How do you perform in front of a camera? The mental side of it, stuff like that. The physical side, are you eating healthy, exercising, cardio, those kind of things that make you where you're at. And she was saying her oldest daughter tried out for Donny Osmond's show.
Hmm.
She said she walked in, there was 300 dancers. So it's literally
Nice.
chop, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, until it comes down to the 12 dancers. And she made it, but she was only 17, so they couldn't give her the contract. She had to turn 18.
That's a whole
Um,
different world of dance. But you're right. There's many different directions you can go, and the work ethic that they put in now and what they learn, what they're exposed to is what can
oh,
make
it's
or break it.
brutal. Yeah, and it's brutal, right? So you can win the $7 award, and that's great to a certain, and there's tiers, obviously. But going into these intensives where you're working with professional choreographers that, do dances for Beyonce and people like that, just the level's so high. It's just so intense. So they're exhausted. And of course, we have to get Disneyland in there. That was a great idea, Britain.
That was an abrupt pivot. We were not going to go into Disneyland. You looked like you had a fantastic time. And when you're in Disney or when you're in Los Angeles, you have to go to Disneyland. You actually inspired me to start looking up. We haven't been to Disneyland in a
A
few
year,
years.
1
It was
year.
fun. It
One
was
year.
fun.
It's fun.
Oh, look at Disney. Look at the Disney fan.
We love Disney.
It was hot. It was 93 degrees, I think it was. It was hot when we were there. But kids loved it. It was good. It was a good time.
Let's
Good
hear it.
family time.
So you've had your fill of dance. Nothing next week, right? You're going to be back in town. You're not headed back out for another dance event.
No. No, that's it until October.
There you go.
Couple of months. New choreography, and we go again. TDC.
Well, speaking of choreography, but in a different way, when we look at what we're about to head into for a back to school season, and I think we're 10 days away from getting everybody back in, a lot of planning going on, a lot of juggling, and having Lauren on the show, I've asked her for the first couple of months, and she said, well, when you get more of a following, when you make it a little bit real, when Craig and you and Craig know exactly what you're doing, and it's not a dog and pony show, then I'll come on. I don't know if we're there yet, but she's
Good
here,
luck.
Oh
which is
no.
great. But the reason I wanted to bring her on, I mean, Lauren has been a business owner a couple times, started her own company, and has seen every bit of growth as we've grown our family at the same time. So when we really talk about the struggle bubble of who we are as people, as employees, as parents, as spouses, there's a lot that goes into it. And I've been impressed with what Lauren has been able to build and grow, although there's been ups and downs across the
Always.
entire journey. But to come in and explain a little bit about what she's been able to build and where you are now. So why don't you start a little bit from the beginning on, well, let's talk ToteSavvy, and if you want to go in a little bit before ToteSavvy as well, how it started and evolved early on.
Yeah. So ToteSavvy was the second business that I started. Um, I was working in the fashion industry for about 5 years, doing textile design, graphic design, and I was a brand colorist for Dockers division of Levi Strauss.
Explain what a brand colorist is, though, because I had absolutely no idea. I'm sure Craig has no idea what a brand colorist does for Levi's.
So the brand colorist is the person that makes sure that the colors are going to match across the board. So when you're working with a brand that's as large as Levi's, they have multiple manufacturers in different parts of the world. But if they pick a navy blue color that they want to match across all of their pants, uh, I'm the person that basically makes sure that that blue color is matching. So to be a brand colorist, you actually have to have very precise color vision, which I do. I had to test into it.
Now
They're
no,
they're the
hold on one second.
best.
You use navy blue as the example, which I'm impressed because can you explain the colors, like the degrees? I think there's a Pantone book somewhere. I learned all
Yeah.
about this way early on, but our favorite color that we came across when you were in your little light room.
Right. So of course you work with so many colors and there's so many color names across the years that you start running out of names. So one of the names, which was this kind of khaki brown color, and you can imagine there were a lot of khaki brown colors working for Dockers, was named Twig Basket.
I thought they were going to call it shit.
No,
No.
twig basket. And all I could think about is the crazy names for things that you have over in England, Craig. Oh, that's a lovely twig basket you have there.
Twig basket. Interesting. Does it collect twigs
What
for
does the
basket's
basket do?
purposes?
Is it a basket
Yeah,
made of twigs? Is it...
yeah. Twig basket. Interesting. So is that a light brown or a dark brown? Hold on. I'm caught
It
up
was a
now.
medium,
It was
kind of
tan.
like
It was tan. Let's be
yeah.
very clear. Twig
It's not
basket.
it's not tan, it's twig basket.
But the talk to Craig about the test that you had to do because there was some studying involved and you weren't sure if you were going to be able to do
Well, no, I
this.
mean it's something that you honestly kind of have or you don't
Exactly.
have. But basically you take a range of colors. So say you take like a pink and it's gonna blend into a blue. And of course it's gonna go across purple as it goes there. But basically you have to line it up in perfect order for the blend. And these pieces are very similar to each other. I actually think like now on TikTok, there's like these little color tests where you can do where you're supposed to pick like the square that's like the slightly different shade. So it's like that, but in a more professional
That's kind of mind blowing. It's like a sommelier.
It is. It's a specialty. So when that it wasn't a meme, but that trend that was going around of what color that dress was. What color was that dress?
well, so that was more the no,
It
that
was stupid.
that was
That's what
more of
that was.
like an optical illusion
Yeah, okay.
based on light. So that's also the other thing too, is like when you're looking at colors, like the lighting that you have very much dictates how that color is going to look. So that's kind of another role of the brand colors to make sure that that color doesn't change when it's in daylight versus when it's in studio light.
And you can see why
Wow.
I don't pick any of the artwork or color schemes
Nah.
in the house.
Why
Lauren
would
is
you
the
why
expert.
would you entertain that argument? Not a chance.
I don't know, Craig. I think that says more about me psychologically.
But he has fought me on color before.
Dude, that is one thing. Like the backyard, the hat. Like, nope. I just tell me where to hang the painting or put something on the wall. Don't question anything else.
So you're in that light studio over at Levi's Dockers, and uh, you have that expertise. What kind of light bulb went off that you wanted to start doing your own thing?
Well, I mean, leaving that role and starting a ready to wear line may or may not have been the best decision, but it led me
Hold on,
to
say that. Wait. Pause. You said ready to wear line, like fast fashion.
not fast fashion. So ready to wear is basically just so it's kind of ready to wear cocktail. So it's more like dresses, kind of like going to dinner dresses, going out.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I was 26 at the time, so kind of in that
But that's
mind state
exciting.
of what I was wearing.
Yeah.
So started that was basically sewing everything myself. I've been sewing since I
And
was
you were in Northern California or Southern California then?
we were in San Francisco at the time.
Okay, cool. I'm just trying to picture because I can imagine that in Southern California being pretty, especially where I just dropped, the kiddos in Britain off, like that would be a pretty interesting just that, Northern California has its own granola approach
Right.
versus, Southern California, where it's, especially Beverly Hills, is Rolls Royce and Lamborghinis.
Well, it's funny because my designs were definitely more Southern California.
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. Yeah.
I went to school down there. My first job out of the industry was down there at BB. So my designs definitely fit more into that scene than the San Francisco fashion scene. But ultimately, the collection ended up kind of pivoting into bridesmaids dresses because that's where I was getting all my business. Um, the clients that I was working with wanted kind of unique dresses and ones that their bridesmaids would like. And making, between 5 to 8 at a time was very lucrative. So it kind of naturally just merged into this bridesmaids dress business. And it was while I was working on that business that the ToteSavvy idea was kind of born. We were expecting our first child, Jackie, and I knew that I didn't want like a typical diaper bag. I knew that I wanted something that was kind of special. I still was very much into fashion, into handbags, accessories, all of those things, and loved expressing myself kind of through fashion. So after, really researching the options that were out there and kind of coming to the conclusion that there wasn't really anything that I liked better than my current handbag collection. Like I had totes and these bags that were large enough to work for a diaper bag, but they didn't have the functionality or the organization within. So that's basically how ToteSavvy was born. I went from sewing bridesmaids dresses to sewing this prototype of a bag organizer that could work inside a couple of my totes that I love to carry.
Yeah,
And
it's badass. For people that are listening, it's badass. Like, Bryn, when we had the kids, use it all the time. It's the best first time mother gift as well. Like, you've got these really expensive designer handbags that you want to use all the time. You don't want to put all the kids' shit in it because it spills and stains and all the bottles that would ruin bags and all that kind of stuff. This thing just slips straight in for all the listeners. It just take your big tote, slip it straight in. It's got compartments for your diapers or nappies, your bottles, your toys, your snacks, all that stuff. I mean, we used it for years after just because it's easier. Instead of putting like nappies and diapers in, you just put a notepad in or whatever.
yeah, exactly. And same for me. It's, it's kind of adapted how I use it over the years with the ages of our children and what I'm actually taking with me on a daily basis. But yeah, I mean,
You
it
put a
based,
tracker in it for school bags for the little shitheads.
Well, as a dad, I didn't have to bring a diaper bag either. I could put it in a gym bag. There's a few of those photos where I just put it
yeah.
in a gym bag and it looked.
When do you go to a gym?
Oh, I don't go to the gym, but I had a gym bag. And then I would go to the pool or go wherever to the park and take
Yeah.
the kids. But it's interesting because it was a little bit out of necessity and expertise at the same time. Where you're living with it day to day. You understand what it takes to take a kid around and need everything at your disposal. The flights that we took, the pacifiers that we lost, everything that goes into it, that necessity, and you kind of became that expert in the space. But you'd never built a direct to consumer brand in the past. Talk about that mentality of getting into the actual business side of it.
Yeah, not to that scale. The bridesmaids dress business was very one-on-one. I could take a couple bridal parties at a time. It was a lot different. And actually one of the reasons that I wanted to put that business to bed and go forward with ToteSavvy was that I saw it was something that was scalable. Um, it's manufactured. It's something that doesn't go out of style, doesn't go out of season. It's fully evergreen. So I saw just the potential with this, and then also branching into more products, different sizes, different colors, just anything else that can really help you organize your life while also helping you stay like true to yourself. It's always been a big part of ToteSavvy is the fact that it allows you to continue wearing the things that you want to wear, carrying the bags that you want to carry, and still feeling like yourself after becoming a mom. Because that was something that people kind of started talking about on social media, kind of when Jackie was a newborn and how you kind of lose your sense of self and your identity. So that was another part of ToteSavvy was it really helped you retain that. Which sounds kind of silly of just being able to carry a bag that you like, but for a new mom, like it's really kind of a groundbreaking thing. to enjoy the diaper bag that you're carrying.
I think that's come out with what you've built. I mean, you had to build the brand itself. So it's one thing to have the product, the prototype, it worked, and people, loved it. Our friend groups loved it, and you try to scale it from there. But the Instagram, the TikTok, everything that you had to evolve to be that brand and stay true to yourself, but also convey that out to the market. How did you think through building that out?
Well, that was, I mean, it was all organic, really. I was a mom by the
Still are.
time, yeah, I am a mom. I am a mom. And when ToteSavvy officially launched, Jackie was about 18 months old. So still very much in that early toddler stage where we're carrying, instead of bottles, it's sippy cups and like a million snacks and still diapers and wipes and all of those things that we needed. But really the social media was being honest with the audience of like, I'm a mom. This is how I use it. This is what I'm packing for my daughter. And showing that through social media. We really capitalized on being able to, but early on when we started Instagram, the videos weren't really big yet. I don't even know if they could do videos at that time. I can't remember
I
that
think it
far
was just
back.
photos,
I know.
right?
How far
Initially.
we've
I
come in
think
the
it was
past
just
10 years.
photos. So we would take these beautiful photos of, how it looked in real life and the things that I was packing inside. And then that evolved, of course, into video and showing exactly how we're packing it. And to this day, that's what our social media accounts are. It's not just Instagram, but that's what we're doing. We're showing you how to utilize it, how we utilize it, and it's been effective for us.
Let's switch gears just a little bit of as you're building that and Jackie's, our oldest is 18 months, 2 years old, you're evolving it. Uh, how you balanced being there as a mom and taking care of Jackie being there in those moments, but also building a business at the same time. Because those early days weren't easy.
No,
It's still not easy.
no, just the challenge has
It's just
changed.
different.
Um, really, it was so helpful that the business revolved around her because, like, I'm able to use her in the photo shoots, in just, we're going to, I don't know, some little theme park or we're going somewhere today of like, what do I need to pack? Like, it really, our lives kind of revolved around the business and the business revolved around our lives. So I think that was kind of an essential part that made it a little bit easier. I think starting a business that doesn't revolve around your current life status might be a little bit harder. Just maybe in like separating that time. But the time that I was with her, even if I wasn't technically working, I was still thinking through things that would be helpful for the business.
Yeah. So you enjoyed having her at the office all those years?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, now. At the time, probably no.
Well, and that's kind of it. You don't realize it. And you've said this to me a lot. I mean, you enjoy the moments now because they're not going to last forever. Craig, you and I talked about this. There's only so many years until our big kids or older kids are going to go to college, or even the younger ones at this point. But there were some, challenges in there where they're not the most cooperative models at all times, or they don't want to participate anymore in the photo shoot.
No, Alexa, the best. The worst model. She absolutely hated it, which is funny because I'd say now she's most like camera happy. But at the time, girlfriend wanted nothing to do with any of my photo shoots.
They little angels. I don't know what you're talking about. Lexa's my favorite. Don't tell them.
Well, it's that art of reverse psychology, right? You need to you want them to be able to participate in a photo shoot or just being next to you at work while you were, going through on your computer. They just don't understand what you're doing on the computer. They think how they use a computer of, they're just playing games, but really you need to get some work done. And then you turn the COVID situation, in 2020, as you're building this out, we're both visible in the room. They're at home with us.
Yeah.
Like, well, get off your computer.
Right.
But you're growing a big business.
I just reverse that now into get off playing Minecraft. I'm in the room now. I get to turn your computer off.
So you can play Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. Just reverse it on them now. You make my life hell. My turn.
Well, and to be fair, we did have childcare help while I was building the business. My parents were taking them, or Jackie and her cousins, a few days a week, and then I would have a nanny come a couple hours a day to help. So it wasn't just Like, I want to be very clear, like, we had help.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
it's tough
just
as well
me.
because well, to your point, you want to involve them in this because for you, it's, you know, symbolic to a certain point. I'm building a business, you know, one day maybe you'll come into the, you know, whatever. So for you, it's symbolic that you want to do this and involve the kid. To Chad's point, the kids are like, ah, this is cool. When are we done? Like, I'm out. I don't really care. To you, you're taking, you know, photographs in the memory bank. They're like, ah, da, da, da,
Yeah, well,
which
they don't,
it will fall so.
yeah, fully know what they don't know what work really means. I mean, we've been fortunate where in our jobs and with you, you know, owning your own business to be flexible, but that flexibility can also be a double-edged sword because you've
Yeah.
shown that you can be there for them, but you still need to accomplish work. I mean, some of our early fights of, hey, just get off TikTok, get off Instagram. And you're like, no, this is I'm doing my job. I'm posting, I'm building a brand, and it's hard to for other people to appreciate that without that transparency
Well, and it's
understanding.
a whole world we didn't grow up in. Not to age us, but that's not people. Our parents went into an office or to work
Yeah.
physically, and then they did it. And then at the same time, if none of my parents were in marketing or anything like that, but marketing back then was newspaper ads and all that kind of, you know, billboards and stuff. Totally different to, you know, nowadays where, you know, that YouTube kills me. Just the kids are so absorbed, and I see how many followers these people have. I'm like, I don't understand it.
Well,
I just don't
on
can't
top
wrap
of
my head
that,
on it.
Craig, I mean, we've seen it firsthand, the influence that marketing has. We're watching the Olympics and the kids see an advertisement for something and it's their eyes are drawn to like, oh, that's something new. I want it. Alexa was just doing that last night. Like, wow, a marketer's dream. Something shiny and has glitters, right? It's a little bit of a slippery slope or dangerous world of that influence. Again, a double-edged sword. Lauren's business, many small businesses would not be able to succeed without the platform of a Facebook or Instagram or TikTok.
Totally,
But at the same
totally.
time, on the other side of that phone, there's somebody digesting a million pieces of content each week, uh, and it can get overwhelming for our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that direct to consumer is really interesting model. It's really impressive how you took the concept organic growth and then using a skill set around social media influencing and all that stuff. It just, you know, how many followers do you have on Instagram and the social media platforms?
I want to say it's like 116,000 on Instagram now. We've been
Crazy.
It's been 10 years. So it took 10 years to get to that point. It wasn't overnight at all. But yeah, that's
And
our,
that's juggling as well. You're juggling parenthood, you're juggling, you know, as we know, as the kids get older, they have more activities, more friends. To your point, this week's great for you guys. You got one day of 5 kids, 4 days with no kids. It's like,
Well,
okay,
there
we
is
can
a
try and
kid
do stuff.
upstairs, Craig, that is not
Is it a
happy
big?
that we took his video game room away from him. No, that's
Oh,
the little boy. He did some stomping. I'm surprised we don't hear him right now stomping on the stairs.
oh,
But
Theo's on the pull-up bar and getting ripped to take it
he's
into his own
maybe some
hands.
push-ups. He's got soccer. We're going to see how good of shape he stayed in. He fell off of his pull-up regime lately, so we'll see what type of shape he's in tonight with Coach Manny.
Ah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
So we're
And so sorry, just real back onto ToteSavvy. What's through the growth, I'm intrigued now through the Instagram, what's the next phase? Like what do you, and you may not have an answer directly now, but what's the next thing that you see from direct to consumer? What do you see for ToteSavvy? What, you know, how, because that moves all the time. That's my interest point is like you start on Instagram and Facebook, but then TikTok and Snapchat blew up and YouTube and you know, what do you see, I guess, the growth or the go-to market now with the new tool sets that are coming out in the market?
well, so it's a completely different environment on Instagram now. Like when we started, we were lucky because we were at that upswing of the pendulum where, and especially just the niche market that we're in of, it started as an organizer for parents. And now, of course, it's an organizer for anyone who wants to keep their bag organized. But because we are in that new mom, parent kind of baby niche, we were able to kind of connect and collaborate with all these other brands that were just like us, just starting out, whether they were doing swaddles, maybe they had, the little silicone teethers, or like placemats. Like there's just a million different brands. So we all kind of used each other to collaborate and grow our audiences because we had very like-minded audiences and all kind of
That's
grow
cool.
together. And then also at the same time, Facebook ads were very, very lucrative for these small businesses. You were able to really get your reach out there and really target down to your exact audience. And of course, now all of that has changed. Influencers also, that they were just kind of starting out of really being able to build a business off of being an influencer. So we kind of hit the sweet spot of all of those things that were working really well. And now, of course, it's a lot different. There's so many influencers out there. So, the campaigns maybe aren't quite as effective in, generating a ton of sales, but they're effective in building brand awareness.
Yeah.
And then ads, of course, like the targeting is just different. There's a lot more companies that are doing it. So it's a little bit more saturated. So, your spend is a little bit different. So that all has kind of adjusted. And we're still trying to figure out exactly, the best path for us as a D2C brand. Right now, one of our initiatives is just adding more products, becoming a little bit more of a lifestyle brand. So, us personally, we're traveling more. Kids are a little bit older. We're able to travel. So we're adding more products that are travel based, whether it be an organizer that goes inside your suitcase for kids or one that's for yourself. We have actually a makeup bag that we're going to launch in the next few months. That's one that I've used for the last 2 trips that we've gone to Europe. So for us, and I think every company is different, but for us right now, it's just kind of expanding that uh, product depth so
That
that we
range.
can, the range, so that we can, because we have wonderful customers, and we know they can only buy so many bag organizers. They're meant to last. You're not meant to replace it, every year. So we want to offer them more products that'll be just as helpful in their lifestyle that are different.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the kids aging or growing, has that shifted your mind frame as well? Because obviously you started with the ToteSavvy, their babies, again, diapers, bottles, whatever. And now obviously as the kids are aging, school
Totally.
bag organizer or whatever, right? Because we're going into middle school, multiple sports, etc., etc. Maybe
Yes.
make something that makes boys' bags not stink.
I
Because
I
I don't know about that. Boys just stink in general.
I can work on that. Yeah, so for me personally, the product ideas that I'm coming up with that are for my own personal life are definitely geared more towards older kids, a place in our life where I'm not carrying all their stuff in my bag anymore. Now it's more my stuff. But however, our team, Kristen, who runs our social media, or she runs our Instagram account, she has 2 kids at home, and one is out of the newborn phase now, but under a year old, and then she has a toddler. So she is 100% in that phase. So it's actually kind of great because as a company, we're able to still speak to the newborn toddler phase, but also to the parents that, if they've been with us for the last 10 years, also have kids that are now entering upper elementary school and middle school.
For our audience, where do you stand on carrying anything for your husband when you go out in your purse?
Absolutely not. That is yours to carry. I carry a purse. You can carry a purse too.
So along that product evolution, Craig, we'll get your thoughts on this. Like a European carry-all, maybe a fanny pack type thing for men.
Yeah.
dude, you just hit a. I'm like, number one, they're not called fanny packs in England. That's something else. Uh, it's called a bum bag.
Oh, a
Um,
bum bag in the United States, completely different.
completely different. Um, so this random trip we took to Disney that wasn't planned.
It wasn't
Normally
planned by
Britain's
you,
that.
Craig. Let's be very clear. This was
Let's be
this was
very
a
clear.
plan all along. You just weren't a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. But we know we take a backpack, right, with sunblock, water, whatever, right? I'm like, well, okay, we don't have anything. So we took the kids' fanny packs, and I used that to carry the phones, whatever, right? Dude, I've never been a fan. Now I'm like, well, that made my life so much easier. Then my pocket's just full of crap,
Okay.
you know.
Britton, if you're listening, I would like a photo of Craig in his fanny pack, his European carry-all. And Craig, did you wear it straight across the waist like a belt, or did you do the cool kid thing where it's
Oh,
across your neck,
yeah, no, I
shoulder
did.
thing?
I did the loaded version
Very
for
good.
sure. Yeah. And then Britain gave it the put the front near you so nobody can steal anything if it's on your back. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
Jesus
really want that sunblock.
Christ. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
like, go ahead, take the kids' phones.
With the last few minutes, we're headed into back to school. What is Lauren Cutting's advice on how parents can mentally prepare and get into the back to school season organized?
We do not have sponsorship by Bevmo, so you can't say alcohol.
Was not going to say that. I mean, I think it's really coming up with a plan. And for us, I mean, we really tag team all of the responsibilities, which is fantastic. Um,
That is not what you were saying in the middle of the day yesterday. We got to a
okay,
good place, but just to be
well,
very clear, I
that
appreciate
was
you.
that was
so
pre-staged.
we did do this yesterday where we sat down, we went through the bell schedules for the two schools because now they're separated across two schools, and then all of the practices that they have across soccer, dance. That's all they're doing, soccer and dance. And we came to the realization that Chad is not available in the afternoons
I'm
for
Because
any
because
pickups.
we start
why?
high school football. I'm going to be an
Yeah.
assistant coach for the freshman team at Los Gatos High School, which I'm
Whoop,
super
whoop.
excited about. But the schedule is every day 2.5 hours, and you could see Lauren's face slowly come to the realization of I want to be supportive, but damn, this is a lot of time.
Well, it was funny because it made me go to Google Sheets to make a little color coded like chart
It's very pretty.
to show Chad. The initial intent was to show Chad how much he wasn't going to be doing, but it ended up being color coded for the kids because it's actually more functional that way. But my initial intent was to, twist the knife a little bit.
Yeah, I saw it in your eyes, but we ended up in a good spot, and I think and a lot of it is just the preparation. It's the meal planning. It's just so
Yeah.
cumbersome to first the cognitive load to just plan it. This the age old. What do you want for dinner? What do you want for dinner? What do you want for dinner? And you struggle, and then it's making it, or actually grocery shopping, then making it. So going through and just saying, all right, these are the times that we're going to eat. The kids have soccer practice some nights until 7 o'clock. Do you eat before? Do you eat after? How does it all get done? But I think we ended up in a good spot. Good plan.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's just pre planning. We just have to make sure that we're pre planning. We know what we're going to cook that week. Like you said, if there's something that you can throw in a crock pot so that I don't have to worry about cooking it when I get home before you.
I'm going full Midwest, Craig. We're gonna have some crock
Oh,
pot meals. Get some lasagnas in there, maybe some meatloaf.
dude, if as long as I can get it delivered on a tray while I'm watching TV, I'll be fully in.
Yeah, a little. I'll get you some TV dinners, Craig.
TV dinners, dude. Let's go. And I know we've only got a minute left, but um, quick, does that? So two questions. Does that give you more time now to keep growing ToteSavvy? Because the drop off's done. You're planning the week, and then that gives you access time to do things. Because one of the struggles that I think Brent and I fall into as well is like, I got to work out. I got to, the list goes on, and it's different every day. That's the frustration, right? I can't say 8 o'clock I'm going for a run or whatever. Um, does that give you more time back? I'm just trying to think when you had, we made the comment about taking the kids to the office and then having help kind of as you were growing the business. Now after drop off, is that giving you more time to get a career? I would say your career pivots is what I would say, right? You want to do more things with the kids while they're young, and then they go to school and things change. Does this now give you more time for the growth, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, through the stages of the kids. So, when they were newborns, of course, it was me, and then we would have, my parents helping and a nanny. But then as soon as they were able to go to preschool that all three of my kids went to, they would go to this preschool. And then basically during the hours that they're at preschool is my work time. And I do take time within those hours. Like I love to play tennis. So, I'll take a tennis clinic in those hours as well. That's kind of like for my mental health, for my
Yeah.
physical health, all of that. But yes, so when they go back to school now, that time is going to be when I'm focused on working. The summer has been a little bit of a struggle because the work time is so broken up because there
Yeah.
actually were a lot more pickups and different things we're coordinating their
half
home.
days as well, right? Some of
Yeah.
the camps are only until noon, so you're trying to entertain. You don't want to put them in front of a TV all day either.
Right.
So we're trying to be present.
Right. But like there's only so much time in the day, right? So you kind of have to, to speak to kind of work-life balance, like there's only so much time. So you got to figure out what you want to dedicate to what area. And I personally like working when they're at school. If I need to pick up extra hours, I do it when they're in bed. I'm not a morning person. I would love to be that person that wakes up at 6 a.m. and gets like an hour and a half of work in before the kids get up. But
how many snoozes was? Well, actually, I was bad today. I set the alarm for 6:30 and woke up at
I was
7.
I was going to
so
say,
mad by your alarm.
You better edit that expression you just gave.
Life changing. I went to earplugs at night, and since then I've been able to. Before I would be up at 2 or 4 a.m. and not be able to fall back asleep. Now the earplugs. Now when the alarm goes off and you have earplugs in, it takes a little bit longer.
Oh, you let that thing go for at least 3 minutes.
But in my brain, it's only going off for like 3 seconds. I'm like so stealthy, ninja. All right.
Oh, I love that. So you're a busy my point being, a busy professional trying to map and plan. It's really difficult, is where I was getting to, and finding those windows when Chad's not annoying you, when the kids are at school, to actually dial in. That's why you got the football job, to get out of her way. Now I get it.
Oh, that's why she's supportive of it.
That's why she supports it. But it's hard, is where I was getting to. So last thing, quick shout out to ToteSavvy. Give us your elevator pitch.
Oh, my elevator pitch for ToteSavvy. All right.
He put you on the spot, didn't he? That was
I
love
that.
You didn't think you'd be able to plug it?
All right. So ToteSavvy is the organizational tool that allows you to retain your personal style and carry any handbag you like while keeping it expertly organized.
Oh, I love that.
ToteSavvy.com.
That was a gold star elevator pitch.
Put her on the spot and she nailed it.
30 seconds, that was nailed. Well played.
It's been incredible to see it. And Craig, like as she's been growing the brand, and I tried to play like marketer here and there. She's the expert. I'm just, if I was at work back in the Facebook or Salesforce or PayPal days, but the brand grew so much that before I could even say the brand, like your wife is CEO at ToteSavvy? I have a ToteSavvy. I gave my sister a ToteSavvy. I gave my sister-in-law a ToteSavvy. Cool. And so just to see it grow in the market and the thousands and thousands and thousands of customers that you have, it's been incredible to see it grow.
Yeah, it's incredible. I say for us, it's the number one. Anyone going to baby showers, number one thing. Britain's, as you know, it's got a pile of them because it's just we're in the same pain. Just she doesn't want to ruin these purses that cost thousands of dollars, so slip it in. And
I'm really looking forward to the ToteSavvy fanny pack. I want to see that prototype. I want to see the market.
You have got some built-in models.
Put some struggle bubble patch right on the front of it.
It's funny because we actually did prototype something that was a belt bag. But it was more just to kind of do it we did it in like a vegan wipeable leather. It's something that you can find out on the market. So ultimately we decided not to launch it because it was something that's kind of already there. But doing a dad specific, like no matter what age your kids are,
for the dads,
a dad bag. I like it. Dad bag.
I can't remember which designer was it. But one of the designer brands, was it Bottega or anyway, they did the trash bag. Who was that? Did you see that?
I thought wasn't that a sketch in Zoolander? Wasn't that Mugatu?
Basically it was Zoolander. I'm like, what the fuck?
I would say like Balenciaga maybe. I don't know. They tend to have
somebody
odd
like
things,
that,
so.
and I'm like, my good lord, we've got to this stage. So whatever you bring out is going to be. Is that
what you were wearing last week, Craig?
That was, this
Adam Sandler
in the Bates Hotel. I don't know what I'm going to be wearing today.
I just hope you get out of there alive, bud.
We'll see.
Sponsored
Maybe I'll see
by
you next
Courtyard
week.
by Marriott. Well, Lauren, thank you for joining the show. I think our listeners are going to really enjoy the journey, what you put into it, and we're looking for great things out of the ToteSavvy brand.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're welcome anytime down in your house into the man cave. All right, we're going to let our son come back down and play some video games,
Theo
apparently.
Stoke.
He's rattling the door upstairs. Craig, have a lovely journey home. Everybody listening, as always, please follow us on Instagram, the Struggle Bubble Pod. We don't have 100,000 like ToteSavvy, but we're growing. It's great to hear your feedback about future topics. We've got a strong list of guests coming up over the next month and a half. Excited to share those all with you. And if you don't mind sharing with your friends, anywhere that podcasts are available, we'll be here each week, dropping on Tuesdays. We'll see everybody next week.